Morning. I'm watching that my cat is so, she's so dumb when she wants to. I don't know if she does it on purpose or what. Oh, finally she figured it out. She was able to get out. Oh my god. I swear. I don't have children, but my cats are the closest. The only difference is that I don't have to bring them to kindergarten or school. Hello, hello Sana, hello Eva, hello Ishta. Hey Fluffy. I was watching the news airport arrival, and I didn't see my bias in there. Like, hey Hilal, like where is he? Like, as if as if I have to know, right? But where is he? Like, how come no one let us know that he was going to stay in Japan longer? Yeah, but like, why? Like, is it like a holiday, like a vacation or something like that? I hope that he's working on something, like music. Oh, I hope not. I hope that's not the reason. Ah, Yeah, because they are pretty like strict when it comes to getting all of them together. So you know that's why I was like wondering, what's going on. It's weird because he was in Japan and then they made him come back because they had this. I believe it was like it wasn't a concert, but it was like a presentation on with Natura Republic or something like that. That brand, and then they all traveled to Korea again. I have wondered why SM didn't push him for Louis Vuitton endorsement. They did push Jaehyun and Jenna. Yeah, I don't know. I just, for me, I am like, I'm from one like perspective, like on one hand, like I'm kind of relieved that they don't like get him into this like um like these brand ambassadors, because I actually prefer for him to to have some music, to not be like a model, like I prefer to see him as, I don't know, to hear him like, or I don't know if it's acting, to see him like develop that aspect, and not so much like being like modeling, or being the image. Like for me, like honestly, I probably, for them it means like money. For them it must be bring like some, you know it must be nice. It must be a nice opportunity to work with some brands. But for me as a fan, it doesn't like, it's like it doesn't change my life. Like it's like, yes, I look at them and I'm like, oh, they're beautiful, but it's not. And I hope that they get paid well, but at the same time it's like I'm waiting for something else. I'm waiting to see them in other kind of projects. Yeah. Yeah, I bet he does. That's true. But the brands could be an opportunity to expose him more, increase his popularity, and therefore more chance for him to have a solo album. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. The people that I saw that were brand ambassadors, they didn't get solo albums. Like, it's just that instance and that's it. Um, and honestly, probably it has to do with the standards that they have when they what they consider that it's beautiful. Maybe for them, Utah is not that beautiful for high fashion. Um, you know, Probably they consider Utah being, I don't know, a bit more on the exotic kind of look. Like, and also because he has a sort of like intensity. It's not, he doesn't have the model face, even though he's beautiful, of course. But it's like, I don't know, maybe he doesn't fit the standards to be. According to their standards, not ours, because definitely we love to see you that his photo shoots like are amazing. The pictures are amazing, but maybe they consider him a bit more like that his style is a bit more like underground, like he has to become a rock star. That's it. He has to become a rock star. This is this is what I want for my bias. I want my bias to become a rock star. That's what. Nothing more, nothing less. Why, guys? Oh, yeah. I used to mistake Yuta for Taeyong. In my eyes, he's very handsome in the classic K-pop style, but I don't know. Yeah, he does have a rock star vibe. I think that yeah, he would be like it is his no. Hey Ink. Hey Carlos. Um no, we were just chatting about Utah. Um about wanting Utah to be a rock star. Um but yes, we are in Pisces season already, guys. We are in Pisces season. Can you believe it? Like, I don't know how long I have been doing like lives where I mention the sign of each season, but we are like already like the wheel keeps turning and we are at Pisces again. We are right Pisces. Um, so I believe I started my channel in the Pisces season. I believe I have. But it's yeah, it's very like interesting. So yeah, this season. This pay attention to what's going to happen in March because it's going to be. Who is your favorite idol with huge Pisces energy? Probably 10. 10. 10 is my favorite Piscean. 10 and TXT Bomb You. They are both like. There's not much Pisces, right? Or am I mistaken? Yeah, in the Boyz there are two Pisces. Oh, Kevin. Kevin Moon from the Boyz. Yeah. They're amazing. Kevin and Hagnium. Mm-hmm. No, I believe that there's going to be some changes um in some planets, big planets that they are going to be changing signs. So and they are going to stay there for a few years. So yeah, yeah. Also take care of you guys because you know Like, you know what happened on March. So take care of your health, like keep using like mask and everything because we never know. I don't think it's going to come back the way it did, but you know, you shouldn't get like too comfortable. When you leave. Mm. Yeah, Vanessa, I'm thinking of open a YouTube channel to do vlogs in Pisces season. Yeah, that's a great idea, Iva. You should. I only know one idol that is who is a Pisces. It's just that they are like this. I mean, they exist, but when you try to think about them, you're like, who was it? Because that's Pisces. That's Pisces. Pisces is very confusing. So even though you know that they are Pisces, when you have to think about the real Pisces energy, somehow you forget. I don't know why. Mm. Pluto in Aquarius, Saturn in Pisces. Those two. Wendy. Wendy Cho. Sorry that I'm eating in front of you guys. I haven't had breakfast yet. Mm. Mama Musola. Mm-hmm. Oh, Heaven from M Mix is a Pisces. Oh, is there any news for M Mix, Carlos? Are they having a comeback? Taeyong. Oh, great. They will have a comeback in March 20th. Great. Yeah, that's something that happens to me during whenever I want to think about Pisces energy or a Pisces sun, I think about the Pisces moons that I know. I don't know why. And it's hard for me to forget that that's not their sun, that is their moon. It's really hard because the Pisces moon also it's very prominent in at least the way I perceive it. These sticks are super healthy. Like I usually try not to eat so much bread, but these ones are very good. Yes, Jenny had Venus in Pisces. I think I have Venus in Pisces. I have Venus and Mars in Pisces. I believe I have like the a lot of planets in the same sign as Jenny, except for her Mars. She has her Mars in Aquarius, and I believe her Mercury is in Aquarius as well. And I have my Mercury in Capricorn. Mm-hmm. It's a grisine. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't know what to eat, guys, because when I have mate you have to imagine it like as if this was like an herbal tea, like like a tea, you know. It's sweet, but you can have it with no sugar. So it doesn't go very well when you eat like something very sweet. For example, if you eat cookies, or if you eat, I don't know, a piece of cake. Remember when I eat when I ate my piece of cake here on the live? If you didn't watch it, you have to go and watch it. It was too sweet. Too sweet. I think that I was like, my face during that live was very, like, it was like too sweet. Like, I am not, I like to eat sweet things, but not so much. Like, not so much. And also because of my thyroid, I try not to consume a lot of bread, because then I get all swollen in my body, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. So that's why I try. The good thing is that I don't consume dairy products, so you know that also helps to not get like bloated. But yeah, also you have to take care with alcohol or with eating fried things, you know. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah. Do you like mate with milk? Oh no. No. No, Carlos. That's a no-no for me. No, I don't drink milk. I don't drink like I don't drink dairy products. I'm allergic. I have intolerance to dairy products. No, but you know, I had a friend that she had a young child, a daughter. She was like about like 4 years old, and she would make her like this. Like she would make her like a mate. She would prepare the herbs and everything, and she would pour milk on it. And I was like, oh my god, like, but I'm sure that it must taste um like nice, because when I was younger, you know, there's a version of the mate sherba, the herbs of the mate, um, come also in bags, in small bags, like the tea bag, they come also in that format, and it's called mate cocido. And when I was young, instead of having tea, I would have those tea bags with herbs. That is the yerba mate. It's the mate herb, and actually it was very it was okay. It was delicious. So it's like having an infusion of these herbs without all the, you know, the herbs, the sticks and everything. Is because they are, since they are like in this bag, you somehow they are filtered. So you just would get like the liquid, you know, the infusion. So I remember I used to have those, and also there my cousin would add like milk on it, just like when you add milk to coffee, the same. And they would enjoy it. So I guess that to see mate, like instead of you pouring water, you pour milk on it. I guess it works. But for me, it's gross, since I cannot stand milk. It, for me, the only to think about it, it makes me feel bad, sick to my stomach. I don't know. I really want to try mate. Mate is great. I love it because it's like having an herbal tea, but the good thing about mate is that you can have it. You know how many hours am I here with you? And I only have to have, like, you know, this container of hot water with me, and I put it anytime I want to drink it. So it's like I don't. It's not the same when you serve like a cup of coffee or tea. That if you leave the like the cup unattended like for 10 minutes, it gets cold. So it's not that nice. And in here, since you pour constantly the hot water, you warm the earth, so it tastes like hot. It maintains the temperature. Of course, you cannot also like you're supposed to like be pouring the water like every 2 minutes. Like if you leave it unattended, it's also going to taste funny. I like to drink milk tea with no sweet, but I add some chocolate part on the side. Oh, my dad loves mate. Can't drink mate because his blood pressure goes up. Oh, wow. Yeah, because of the mate. Yeah, this is the thing about mate. Mate um is like coffee. Mate is addictive. It has like this is why you see me drinking it all day. Um, but it's also part of our culture, it's like the people that they tell you, oh, I cannot live without a cup of coffee. Like I have, for example, if you look at the Korean people, they're always buying coffee like all day. I think that those people do not eat anything, they just drink coffee all day. And for them, they cannot have a proper day without this drink. So I guess for us, mate is the same. Like we just cannot be without it, and it's funny. I believe it does create a sort of like addiction because, for example, if I don't have it in a day, it has happened on my job that, for example, I don't know, I had to get up early and I spent my whole day at work, and then I came home late and I didn't have it nor for breakfast, nor in my break, nor in the afternoon. And then when it's nighttime, I feel like I have a headache, and somehow when you have mate, that headache goes away. So I think that definitely it must have some addictive like contents or something like that. Kinda like matcha. I never like. I try to drink matcha. I don't know why it makes me feel funny. Like I don't. Also, I tried to when I was younger. Because I loved tea so much that I wanted to try green tea. And green tea, I like green tea, but it's just so sour for me. It's so, I don't know. It leaves a funny feeling in my mouth, and I don't like it. It tastes a bit, yes, like sour, like yeah, bitter. Then yes, the a bitterness. Yeah, yeah. It did remind me of green tea. Yes, matcha. It did remind me of green tea. Yeah. I don't know. I guess when I prepare it, since I didn't have like the willpower to actually being able to, you know, to do the proper like with the spoon, or I didn't have like someone to really like mix all the things very well. I believe that it came out very like not very well prepared, and that's why it wasn't that. um, you have to be very patient and you have to know how to prepare it, and I wasn't. So try mint with sugar. I love minty. I love minty. Actually, the sherba that we call it sherba, that it's the herb for mate. It comes with flavored. It comes also a mix of herbs if you want to. You have the regular sherba, the regular herb that probably if you have it for the first time, you're going to notice that it's very strong because normally sherba mate, the herb that is for the mate, is very strong. It's very strong. It's very strong. And even though you can put sugar on it, it's very strong. Um, so for my taste, I used to I buy a brand that has like a mix. It has mint. It has like um, it has like chamomile, like a lot of herbs. So that also makes it a bit more like um, like tastier. Like for me, it's much more like delicious than the yerba mate that is very strong. But I love mint tea, and actually I have mint tea with no sugar in it. I have mint tea with no sugar in it. I have it usually after I have dinner. I have it afterwards. Like I have to drink a cup of like herbal tea before I go to sleep. That's I inherited that like that custom from my mom because she would always like prepare like an herbal tea for me before I went to bed. So I have that custom, and she would always like remind me, if you drink an herbal tea, don't put sugar in it, because once you put sugar in it, it loses all its benefits. So that's why, especially if I'm drinking it because I want to heal. For example, I don't know if it's a digestive problem and I want to have like an herbal tea, I try not to put sugar in it. For example, when I am on my period, I drink a lot of chamomile tea. Um, and I also have it plain with no sugar. The difference between matcha and green tea, they use the freshest, hey Natasha, the freshest leaves and grind them down to powder instead of using the whole leaves. Oh, oh. So this is why it looks like a powder. I was a bit like whenever I observe, I remember the first time I bought matcha, I was a bit hesitant because you know that there's some differences in the colors. There you have other types of green. So I was a bit like distrustful of the one I got. I was like, maybe this is not good or this is fake. I don't know. Oh, matcha needs milk. Yeah, probably. That's the reason. Maybe that for me it's a bit. It tasted funny. Maybe yeah. Maybe it's better with milk. Yeah, I've seen people prepare it and they always put milk on it. And also like I had the same issue with coffee. Where these videos of people like preparing a cup of coffee and they use their machines, and then they add milk and they add everything, and it looks amazing. For me, I cannot drink coffee like this. Like I just have to have like black coffee, and that's it. So yeah, for me, drinking coffee is like a strong experience because I usually have it like with nothing on, like I put sugar on it, but it's not like the ones that you drink. For example, if you go to Starbucks, you ask like, you know, like a different mix of spices and things that you put on your coffee. And your coffee is creamy. And in my case, since I cannot eat dairies, my coffee is very strong. Yeah, sometimes I remember when drinking like at the Starbucks and or when I went to McDonald's, for example. Don't ever ask coffee on McDonald's because it tastes burnt. It tastes like the coffee is burnt, and especially when you are someone that you cannot have it like, with other ingredients, you taste the real coffee and you realize that that coffee is burnt and it's awful. I'm the same. I don't add anything to my coffee except for ice. Mm. I never tried it with ice. Is it good, Ink? Same, black coffee, but only after lunch. In the morning, it's too strong. Yeah, it wakes up your senses. I remember I used to have it like before going to work, and I would be like, like this all day. Thank God I only had, these small cups like this. I add 70 milk and 30 black coffee. Yeah, I'm sure that's the right size, like the right proportion, Eva. Mm. I like cold coffee in McDonald's. I guess it's not available anymore. Oh, when you come to the States, don't just get iced coffee from any Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, I like. Okay. I never had iced coffee. Like, is it good? Because Koreans, like, I mean, everyone drinks it, but I see them like asking a lot of iced coffee. Is it good? Like, really, have you tried it in your countries? Because in my country, like, yes, it is. You can buy it at Starbucks. But for me to have it on my house, like, and I don't have coffee in my house, so I don't know if I prepare it on my own, is it going to be good? Like, I don't know. I never tried it. Mm. Iced coffee is the best. Mm. The caffeine hits faster and it depends where you get it. So how should I prepare it if I have it, for example? What do you add to the iced coffee? I mean, you add the coffee, yes, like this half, and then you pour. Yeah, I'll use Nescafe. But I mean, like, I don't have that that you have. Like, I will have to prepare it myself by hand. Like, I always wanted to get those coffee machines, but since you know the capsules, they have so many different tastes, and most of them have cream, or they have like milk on it, or they have like something. And since I was like, I'm going to waste all these flavors because I only eat regular plain coffee. So that's why I held myself from not buying the coffee machine. It's very sweet though, usually. Oh, you can do anything. I just add ice. You can add milk or sugar, whichever to your taste. Ah, I only add ice too. And it doesn't like it doesn't affect your bowels. Like, because I'm afraid that if I'm going to drink one of those, I'm going to be running to the toilet. Like I mean, I have no problem with coffee. There are people that usually, coffee for them makes them like run to the bathroom. For me, I don't have that problem. But maybe iced coffee, like I don't know. I don't know why every time I see idols drinking a lot of coffee, I'm like, is your intestine okay? Like, like, don't you feel the need to go to the bathroom? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I see them like that's the only thing they drink. But ice, but see, iced coffee doesn't taste the same when you make it at home. It tastes best store bought. Yeah, but I don't know. There's not too much magic. Like I used to work at McDonald's when I was younger, and they don't do anything differently to what we do. So I believe it's somehow the illusion of the experience. It's like, oh, if I buy it here, it tastes better. Actually, no, it's because, they did the job and you didn't. So, and yes, I'm sure they have the whole utensils and everything to make it in an instant. Maybe for you, you have to, I don't know, work 2 hours on it. My sister has one and she only used it twice. Not worth. Oh, but I do it because I can't take hot drinks. Oh, I can't. I have that problem. I do an Nescafe directly to the toilet. Yeah, that's there are people that go for that. Like I don't have that problem, but I notice people that, for example, we are like gathered together, to have coffee. And all of a sudden, you see people disappear. So I guess actually what makes me feel funny in that sense that I feel a bit weird in my stomach is when I drink like orange juice with with coffee. When you sometimes order um, coffee and especially when you're at hotels and everything that they just serve you, the coffee or the tea, and they just always put this orange juice, for you to drink it in the morning, especially in the morning. For me, I feel very bad on my stomach. My stomach starts making weird noises, so I guess it's the citric. Is the citric, like, and I never had that with other kind of juices. So every time they offer me the option to have orange juice, which is amazing, the orange juice, I love orange juice, but I always ask a glass of water instead, because yeah, you shouldn't drink coffee and orange juice. Yes, yeah, I felt that. Like I didn't, like I don't end up in a bathroom, but I feel that after I drink it, I feel very bad. I feel like it is that in Korea they have the facility to take American ice because in all the convenience stores they sell plastic cups with ice. For example, in my country that does not exist. Oh, yes, I saw this. Actually, I do follow a TikToker that she goes, her TikToks are all about going to the Korean, like those supermarkets, and she goes and she films the whole experience of grabbing these yeah, plastic cups that come sealed and they have ice on it already, like cut in it, and then she buys the like a bag with the different flavors. It's either coffee or milk or a lot of things, a lot of like and she pours them on this cup. She opens it and she pours them on this cup, and then she just she, and then she has it, and she does this, like her TikToks are all about doing this, like going, grabbing that cup, or that plastic cup of ice, and pouring, and people are like, oh, you better buy it, do not buy like the coffee one, buy the, I don't know, even like the fruit flavor ones, and she does this, like this, her videos are all about this experience. So yes, I understand what, yeah, I don't have, we don't have it here, Carlos, we don't have it. Where are you from, Carlos? Are you from Argentina as well, or are you from Chile, or near? I'm obsessed with those videos. Me too. Me too. Me too, Gia. Oh, we're very close. Me too, Gia. I'm obsessed with those videos. Like at first, when it came out I was like, oh, what is this? But then I was like, every time, and when these videos start to come and you don't follow them, but if they appear again, you don't mind watching it. And I got like, it brings me peace to see her like doing this. Like I don't know, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah, and I love it. It just brings me peace to watch her videos. Her videos of just going to the convenience store and getting those cup of ice. Yeah, they have so many flavors. What are the huge changes in plans you mentioned? I'm interested. Actually, Ink, you should go to like an astrology like page. For example, the other day I was listening at the podcast version of, I do follow. Uh, I believe his name is Chris Brennan. I've been following for him for a while, and this he has very long videos of talking about these displacement, and he was talking about this, since these are very generational, like kind of planets, and they move slowly. It's hard to like to explain their influence, but at the same time it's not that deep, but it can change us as society. Definitely, any planet that is in Aquarius is going to change us as society. And often, if you think about Pluto, that Pluto is a planet of transformation. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be different. And his channel is called the Astrology Podcast. It's great. But you know to talk about that, you have to be an expert, and at the same time, I mean, I can give you, like, we can talk about what it would mean for us as a collective, but at the same time, you have to think about how it affects your own virtue. How those planets, or those aspects, those movements in the sky fall into your own virtue. So, like, but I'm sure, since it's Pluto, it's going to be heavy. Not heavy, but liberating. Definitely liberating. But it's going to introduce change in a very, like we never seen before. It's going to change our mindsets. It's going to change everything that we think we know. But there's always challenges, because you don't have there's no good or bad sign, or there's no good or bad planet. There's always like some good parts and the not so good parts. For example, Aquarius energy, it brings novelty, it brings also the community together, it brings like somehow, when it comes to the internet and the globalization and everything, it like it's very good. But at the same time, Aquarius energy sometimes it's like it's too much for the community that you lose a bit of individuality. Like it's like a bit like weird in that sense. And also sometimes when we think about the community and when we think about everyone coming together and helping each other out, then you have cults. Then you have people like starting these cults in the name of helping each other. And then in those groups or in those gatherings of people, some harsh things happen. Some not so favorable things happen because there's no individuality. There's no like acknowledging of the self. You are like invested. It's as if, for example, we were part of a fandom, and we would always be talking about this, about our favorites, and we would always be talking about this, and we would be talking like, oh yes, we should gather all our efforts, and for our favorites to achieve this and this and this. And if maybe you one day raise your hand and you're like, like I'm having financial issues this year, so I don't think I'm going to be able to collaborate because I have things going on in my life, and they would definitely like reject you, like or maybe gaslight you in the sense of like, what do you mean you cannot collaborate? Is your duty as part of this, like you are being selfish or you are not being considerate enough, so this is why I fear so much the mob mentality. I fear it so much. Like, I also want to, like, we all want to, like, belong. There's a need, to belong. But at the same time, it's like you have to remember not to lose yourself. Because sometimes, yes, you do so much for the community. And what about your own home? What about your own place? What about your own needs? So when you find yourself in that situation where you have to choose, like you're probably in a very dangerous place, or your mentality is not, is not in a healthy place. So you have to be careful of that. This is why, that's why when we always talk about this, usually the people that we're here, we are all multi fandoms, or I mean, like you do have some kind of awareness in that sense. You are like, oh yes, I am a fan of this group, but maybe as a possibility, if some other new group comes out, I would gladly support that if I like the music. Like, I don't feel like I'm betraying anyone by deciding to like someone different, you know and that ability gives you the opportunity to broaden your perception of like, oh, like, like each artist is a different experience. Okay, yeah, I'm a fan more of this and not so much of this, but i still I'm still seeing, the different kind of treatments, the different kind of, oh, this group has better quality in their MVs and this group doesn't have it. Like you're able to see that it's not that they are all cut with the same scissor. Like there's some privileges for some. There are others that, yes, they have to work extra hard. And you also have to acknowledge that that it's not that they are all perfect, that they are all trained by the same system and the system gives them all the same amount of opportunity. No, it depends on influence as well. I watch it too, but yes, I'm following the whole sign debate. Yes, I was really entertained by that. It's like I was like listening to it, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like I don't understand the whole sign thing. Like in my, like I know about astrology, but since they are explaining it in English, there are some concepts about astrology that probably I think that I know what it means, that probably is not the correct translation. So yeah, but I was listening to it anyways. I was telling everyone here the other day that I was so hooked on that drama because I was seeing like a Scorpio astrologer going after a Taurus astrologer, so it was hilarious. It was hilarious, and the level of tension in there, you know, the Scorpio like pulling out the receipts, and it was hilarious. And the fact that this video lasted like 6 hours, it was like I'm going to stay here and listen to the tea, even though I do not understand half of what they're saying. But he sounded like really serious. He was like, okay, I'm really going to, I'm not going to let you like, I'm going to share my side. Like I don't think that what you're saying is fair. So even though I don't know much about it, like you know but the debate, it was very interesting. I don't always listen or watch his podcast though, because these transit talks make me freak out a bit. Yeah, exactly. That's why I try to, and also since it's so long, I don't finish them all, or maybe I lose my concentration as well because they are so long. But he's definitely a very very intelligent person. Yeah, community coming together, cult, all some very Pisces. Pluto transform, it can destroy and rebuild. It's never really an easy energy. So this time with Aquarius, it could have to do with technology. Yeah, that's another thing, Aquarius and technology. Sometimes technology is used for purposes that are not very. This reminds me of when sometimes you see hashtag trending on Twitter like "We love you" and you know that there's a yes, you know that there's a controversy. Yes, yes. I also, when I see those hashtags, I know that they're trying to cover something. They are trying to cover something. They're trying to clean the timeline. And when you try to find out what it is on Twitter, you see tweets like, I don't know what's going on, but hashtag we love you. So basically, these fans blindly support their idol. Whatever the idol did, talk about losing yourself and your values for a celebrity out of loyalty. As a Taurus, I think the Scorpio is killing it this time. Chris is such a great debater. Yes, it's just that, there's something so scary about Chris. Is that he looks so calm on the outside. And definitely when you see, like, when you hear him, you know that definitely he's not being nice. He's out to get you. But um, it's just that, I don't know, guys. This is why when I don't know much. I mean, I'm a huge fan of astrology. I had studied astrology a long time ago. I read astrology even without knowing what it was about. But I always, whenever I meet an astrologer or someone that had a study in like really astrology, they always make you feel like you don't know nothing. So for me, the the only way that I think I can validate for what I know about astrology is my way of interpreting the energies of that particular placement. I try to integrate it from my feelings, and from my what does it feel like to have that placement? What does it feel like to look at that placement in action? What do I feel when I'm near that energy? How it does it manifest? How does it appear? So For me, it's more like a sensorial kind of like intuitive appreciation of the energy. I'm not like a scholar or a, I'm not going to be talking about, things that I don't know from the books. Like in an intellectual level, I cannot put it into words, especially not in English. But astrology had always been very, very interesting for me. It's just that every time you think that you know something, there always comes an astrologer that makes you feel like you don't know nothing. And I think that this is, at least for me as a tarot reader, I always try to avoid, I always avoid, and even though I do have colleagues and I do have people that I do follow in my country, for example, or from other countries, um, we always have this mindset that it's that you shouldn't compare your practice with others. And I believe that this is a huge exercise when it comes to being a tarot reader. Like, this is why when someone says, oh, I saw this tarot reader, they said this, or I saw this one that said this, it's like, great. Like, really, like, I will watch it, maybe I will pay attention and I will learn myself, and I will enjoy it, but I cannot comment nor compare their reading to mine, because then I'm losing, I'm losing my own purpose. I cannot get distracted looking at what others are doing, because there's no, for example, I have a thing that I get freak out when I see people shuffle. They open the cards like this and they shuffle them. They do this like this to the cards. They do this with the both sides and they mix them together. And they are like, for me, that's awful. I cannot do it. I would never shuffle cards like this because you are bending them, like you are, but that's a way of shuffling as well. There's no place in the tarot that says, oh, you cannot shuffle cards like this. Like that's personal, that's your style. So even though for my eyes, it hurts to see it and even to listen to it. I don't like the sound of the I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But people shuffle like that. And actually I've seen a lot of great tarot readers that do shuffle like that. But for me, in my experience, when I see them do this, I'm like, oh my God, why are you doing this? Why can you shuffle like, you know? And for example, when I shuffle cards, in my case, I shuffle them like this, but I often shuffle the cards very fast. And there are people that probably shuffle them like a bit like this, maybe they go like this, it depends. It depends. But this is what I want to say. It's like you cannot like look at someone's perception or someone's interpretation and being like, oh, but you didn't do that right. Like, no. First of all, because it's been disrespectful. Because even though I can, for example, in my case, it happens in TikTok. In TikTok, I have blocked like everyone in the tarot community. Because nowadays, since we are like in summer vacation, there's a lot of tarot readers that they do come on TikTok to do lives where they pull cards for money and they answer you yes or no questions for money. So for me, it's like sometimes I come across their lives and it's atrocious what they say, the answers that they give. And not to mention the ones that say that they are medium. But people consume that. People consume that and they love it, and they are fine with it, and they will purchase a reading or a question, and then they will go back the next day, because I have friends that had told me that they had participated on these lives, and that they were like, I don't know, they were somehow like, it creates a sort of addiction. It's like, oh, it wasn't that expensive, and she answered my question, she or he, they answer my question right away. So I want to ask another question. So you do it. It's like playing cards, guys. It's like playing like bingo, and so that's why I think that sometimes, and for me, tarot reading, like I mentioned the other day, for me when I read for someone, it's a very private experience. Like I don't want um like I think that for me to be reading for you or for someone else, even for the idols, I need to be alone. Like I need to be concentrated. I don't, because if I'm going to do it, I want to do it right. And then you have people that probably they're like, oh, if you are a tarot reader, you can read anywhere, or you can read under any condition. Like for example, if I say like, oh, I don't read in in public spaces. For example, I had read in gatherings. I was once hired to read for a yoga convention, and then for someone's birthday party, and I felt very sick. I felt very bad afterwards. I felt very like, um, I don't know, maybe because I wasn't protected enough, but I did have some crystals with me, I did sage. I had like some incense sticks with me, like, and the people were very nice, because they would come to me and they would be like, oh, do you need something? Do you want a glass of water? Do you want to eat something? Everyone was so nice. But is not it maybe it's about the experience, the experience of having all those people in there, that sometimes maybe for my intuitive energetic field it's too much. Maybe for me, my energy is better to take one client at a time and to rest a few hours after that client leaves, you know so that's something that I'm like, even though there are people that can do it, for me, it's like, for me, reading cards is not like putting on a show, For me, it's something intimate, because you don't know what the cards are going to tell you. You know, the cards sometimes they go straight to the point, and sometimes they unleash a few things that, it's not me the same like telling you something that you should know, or that you should you should acknowledge about the situation or yourself, and telling you this while you are having drinks and while everyone is dancing on the corner, and there's loud music, and everyone is laughing, and everyone is like celebrating, or everyone is intoxicated. It's not the same. You are not going to get the message, because you are distracted. you know I understand that tarot, it's, for some people it's taboo, and for some people it's like, oh, I never done this before, I want to do it, and now that you're here, I want to experience in it. But yeah, no, I prefer my clients to look for me. I always said this. Um if they are ready to have a tarot reading, they will ask for it. If they don't want to ask for it, for example, there are people that are like, we had talked about this, that are like, I don't want to hear this. Like, I don't want to know what's going on in my future. I don't want to know. So you have to respect that also. There are people that just don't want to know, and they just don't want to be pulling cards. Maybe they are just fine listening to others or what others have, and that's it. So That's also valid. But this is what, and I had clients in my real life as well, that I have a friend that once she came to me, she was like, "Oh, I want to ask you something because my sister, she got an annual tarot reading with someone. And since, she pulled some cards and she told her some things, but, I'm not sure about the message that she's not satisfied with the message that she was given. So since I know you, like she shared the pictures of this spread with me, and she was like, "What do you see in there?" And I was like, all of this through WhatsApp. So I just answered to her. I was like, "I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I know that you probably want to know for your sister and expand the meaning, but first of all, I cannot read the cards that someone else pulled, because what that person pulled is the cards that they pulled, and it's their interpretation. I don't know what they saw in that moment when they read for her. And other thing is that if you want my perspective, like, you should purchase a reading for me, from me. Like, I can read for you, but for me to read for you, you have to purchase the service from me, because that's also like, you have different tarot readers. You have the right and the freedom to choose whoever you want that they read for you. You can choose, because we are a lot of people. We are a lot of tarot readers, and there's a lot of systems and styles and everything. So you choose. But I cannot refute someone's reading. They already said what they said. It's their work. It's their intuition. It's their energy. It's the energy of your sister. Like, I don't know your sister. Like, how am I going to be like, "Oh yes, this card means this"? You know, even if I wanted to be nice and help them, it was a bit like, you know, like, disrespectful of her to ask me to reinterpret something that someone else, uh, because and she, it was funny because she started the conversation saying like, "Oh, because I know you for so long, and I really like the way you interpret tarot, but I purchased this reading from someone else and I want you to reinterpret it. What do you see here?" And I was like, "Oh, so you love my interpretation so much, but you buy it from someone else, and then you want me to refute what they saw because you weren't satisfied with the answer that you were given." So do you see how for those specific people you have to put some boundaries, because they think that we are all the same, or you have these people that also, like, go from tarot reader to tarot reader to tarot reader until they get the answer that they want, and that's also toxic. That's also like, you know of course, that when I watch certain people, I notice that they are not really good at reading. I notice that. But, you know some people are very charismatic. So they have the great storytelling. So this is why you get future spouses readings, because it's like a Wattpad of a reading. And people just love that. People don't want to know about the cards. They want to know the juice, not the coffee, the tea. Lol, I'm trying to learn how to shuffle like this. And I turn the deck all around so it doesn't bend. Yeah, you can learn it, Fluffy. It's okay. I have seen a lot of tarot readers shuffling like this. When I shuffle the normal way, I shuffle vertically because the cards are too big. I have big hands. That's the reason. Yeah. Why is TikTok such a nasty place though? It seems like the most shallow places on the internet where there's so much misinformation. Yeah, and then they fight each other. They fight each other. They're like, like talking about other videos, and like it's never ending saga. Some idols do have secret accounts, and I hope they have not seen some stuff related to them, like shipping and dating rumors and fanfics. I'm sure, like the English speaker lines, probably they had watched. Yes. Hey Reem. Hey Leona. Yeah, everyone gets messages different. People need to stop going to people when they don't resonate with. It was disrespectful, but probably because she didn't understand what the reading is, how it works. She also doesn't take it seriously enough, yet she still wants to hear from you talk about her. Very shallow. Yeah, it's like, I usually have, like, for example, I have friends that they are like, oh, I know that you sage a lot your house, or that, when I feel like I'm feeling a heavy, I don't know, energy in my house. Do you know what I should, like, what kind of incense stick I should buy, or what I should do to cleanse my home, because I'm not sleeping well. And I often, like, I share what I know. Like, I have no, like, I'm not, like, selfish. I share definitely what I know. I will tell you. Like, if you ask me, oh, Vanessa, what are you using, or what do you use for this, I share it. Like, for me, if you are better, like, I'm glad for you. But tarot reading, it's very private. It's a very private practice. So, even though the tarot readings are public, because we put them in public, the interpretation is personal. I read what I read, or I saw what I saw when I did. There's no, oh, now that I'm trying to think about this, maybe it changed. No, what I got in the moment is what I got. And some people need to learn that this is what it is. So if you don't resonate with the reading, because you have your whole right to not resonate with the reading, or maybe you do not like the tone of my voice, you do not understand me, like, I get it, but that doesn't mean that my reading is not good. It's just that maybe you don't know how to listen. Yes. I'm so done with future spouse, especially how on earth want to know about ethnicity. Yes. Some fans really go overboard. Especially, like, this is not American Idols. This is like their mindset is very different. And some really people think that there's like super precise fixed answer, but it's more about energy. Like you said before, energy can change. It's not written on stone. It was it was nice. Hi Subtraman. It was nice hearing you talk about tarot and your opinion about it. I noticed people say the reading resonate, but we'll go ask another reader. Yeah. It's just that there's something about getting a tarot reading that is somehow, if you don't, like, if you're a very anxious person, you probably are going to be satisfied at the moment you got the reading, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, I listened to it, I watch it, I get it, I'm satisfied. But then probably you start overthinking about what I said. And you're like, okay, she said that this is going to happen. But when is it going to happen? And if a new person shows up, how are they going to be like? How am I going to be able to recognize this when this happens? So they start obsessing for the small details. And this is what they want another reading to expand the meaning of what I said. And I know because I went through this myself. Like when I was really young, when I used to have like readings, and I also had the experience of having readings and those events actually happening. So the way they described that it would happen. So I was like, oh, this reader is really good. I'm going to keep asking. So it's like when you get a tattoo. When you get a tattoo, you want to get another one. It's a sort of addiction. So with tarot readings or with astrology analysis, like astrological analysis, birth charts, everything, it's very addictive because like there's so much that I can ask. That I want to know so much. So it becomes an addiction. Especially when the person, what they want is just to accumulate information. They don't want to integrate it. They don't want to work because it's not just you getting a tarot reading. You have to work with the message that was given to you. That's why you cannot like rate a tarot reading and being like, oh no, it was positive, oh no, it was negative. No, you just take what the message was, you listen to it, you accept it, and then you move on with your life. You forget about it. And you go and live your life. And once you start like moving your energy and living your life, then events start to happen. But probably you will remember if something happens of what I said, you will not be conscious about it in the moment that you are experiencing it because you have to be present to live. Probably you will think about it afterwards. I mean, like, oh, like actually she told me this and actually like I went through this. And you're like, oh, it's crazy. But if you are busy living, you don't obsess over like when is it going to happen. She said 3 months. This is why I don't give time. Like, because some things I say, some things like come true like probably like the next week, and then there are some others that it take longer. So I cannot tell you like, oh, this is going to happen next week or this is going to happen 3 months from now, because who knows. It depends on how you live your life. It depends how you go out there in the world and you start like moving your energy and your power to make it happen. You have to go out to life and live it. You cannot expect a tarot reading to be like, sort of guidebook about, okay, now you are going to listen to this. Now you're going to be living this. And now you're going to, it's not that. It's not a script. It's not a script. There's something addictive about tarot readings. People wanting readings after readings, looking for answers, but in the end, never really absorbing the messages. Yeah. They normally get the same answer too. And so better go to ask a new question. Yeah, for example, when I read for idols, I do get it also. Like I do get it. There are some people that I read or some groups that I read for that there's not much going on. There's not much going on. And probably you're like, oh, but they are going to have the comeback. They are going to have this. They're going to do this. I don't see them working. Like, and also probably I don't see them. Probably there's no like excitement. There's no like involvement in this. And they're not that excited as people think. because it's their job. Who is excited? It's like poor guys. They wake up really early in the morning. They record a lot of hours, and then probably some a lot of activities get cancelled as well. So even though they do announce some things, it takes longer to see it reality. But yes, guys, just like in any practice, you cannot compare yourself with others, because if you're thinking all the time about what others are doing, you are missing the point. You have to be focused on yourself. You have to be focused on you being better, but at your own pace and in your own style, not copying what others are doing, because what works for others may not work for you. So, what others do is their business, not yours. Oh, I heard that BTS Hobi it's in the process of enlisting. So I'm going to be pulling some cards for him, because I realized that I didn't do a reading for his birthday, because I don't know, I was very invested like with the romantic partners, that I forgot about a lot of Aquariuses. So yeah, we're going to be pulling some cards for him. Vanessa, have you tried a reading in which you felt it cost you a lot to interpret things, or use up a lot of your energies? Lately, anything related to SM situation. Like the other day, if you haven't watched it, guys, you have to watch my reading for NCT Tokyo. Like it was, like I was watching the replay the other day, and I was like, why do you look so nervous? Why are you so? Because I also like I monitor myself, and I'm like, why are you so agitated? Like, and it's not that I was upset. It's just that um, the energies are so, and I'm so done. I'm so done with everything related. It's so messy. It's so messy, and I get frustrated because probably a few weeks from now I will have to do another reading, because everything that they said, it's very, so I don't think that it's the proper moment to be pulling cards for anything related to this, because I had done it, and it me as a tarot reader, I don't feel satisfied with the reading. Even though, yes, we understand that there's a lot of important issues in the middle, but I was very disappointed at the answers that I got. So I'm like, I like I was able to put it into words, but I was a bit frustrated by the answers that I got. Um, so probably those were very demanding for me. because it's like I want to give you like a proper answer, but somehow it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. So yeah, those were very demanding. Those were very demanding, and probably because for me as a fan, it's also very like tiring, exhausting. To see that at the end, what matters is those people fighting each other, for who is trustworthy and who is not trustworthy, so I'm not going there again. I'm not going there again. He finally gonna see the bald head. Yes, I wonder who's gonna be next. Maybe our MC is here already. Uh-huh. I I still have to watch your assemblies. Yeah, Fluffy, go to watch like the latest one. That when did I do it? When did I did the readings for SM Tokyo, NCT Tokyo and Utah? I got really agitated in there. Like I don't know what got into me, but never again. Maybe it's that the way because there's nothing secure about it. Yeah, but a lot of manipulation also in the middle. I pulled for Espa but got Seven of Cups. Death energy. Yes, that Seven of Cups, it's so annoying. It's so annoying, that Seven of Cups. That Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles energy. It's so Two of Pentacles. It's so Five of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Eight of Cups. Oh, Friday. Oh, thank you, Carlos. It's messy, Leona. Yeah, it's messy. At first I thought those SM hype news were kinda hilarious and petty, but now I'm worried about the artists. It's messy. Who's going to pay for their mental health? Like, I mean, they said that they would take care for their mental health, so I'm happy for that. But the rest, these are going to be tough months for them. Definitely they will be busy because, like I told you when I pulled cards a month ago, I mentioned this, that they are going to be very, very busy. All the artists are going to be put up to work. So we are going to see them. But it's like the atmosphere is so heavy. It's such a battlefield that it's not a nice energy to be working in. It's not a nice energy. It's not a nice place to be with. Like me as a very sensitive, empathic person that I am, I would get sick just to be in that building. Like the amount of heavy energy that is in there, awful, awful. Like I wouldn't be surprised if actually in that building things started to, like material things and machines started to break down, and a lot of very like accidents start happening in that building because the energy is so heavy. It's so heavy. It's so heavy. Seven cups of basically means it's a mystery, right? Yeah, it's like you have like the options, but the options are in the air. And not the Seven of Cups is a very also Piscean energy. It's like when you think that you have the potential to choose what you want to choose. And you have them all like, oh look, I can choose here, and this looks like a very good option, but this one looks great as well, and this one looks, but it's all in your imaginary. It's not that the opportunities is an illusion. No, they are real. Like you have the potential, But at the same time, it's about the process where you have to somehow like choose blindly, because every shiny new toy has potential. Like every new opportunity sounds amazing. It somehow sounds like a, like, oh, like this new is approaching my way. So yes, this is for me. I've been waiting for this. And you somehow like you transmit all your illusions into, I'm picking that cup because that cup looks very pretty and shiny, and it brings a lot of promises. It brings a lot of, it's like when you go to sign a contract at a new job and they promise you so many benefits, and then when you start working for them you realize that how precary the situation is, how low budget everything is. So that's the energy of the Seven of Cups. It's like, yeah, you finally have like a sort of like opportunities, something, it's in there, but not everything is what it seems. That's why it's in the clouds, because even though it's shining, you don't know if it's true gold. So, and it's also about the, you know, about how we risk, and we sometimes we have to take that risk of choosing something, even though we sometimes may regret what we choose. And we were like, oh, this is not what I wanted. So the Seven of Cups is when you are very intoxicated by how these prospects look so appealing. It's like, wow, I have all these options, and everything looks amazing on the outside. And if there's feelings involved, since it's a cup, it's a cup suit, since there's feelings involved and you probably feel sort of attachment to some cup because it reminds you of something from your childhood, and you choose it because it's tough. It's tough. But yes, the sevens, the fives and the sevens in the suit are about indecision and are about a process where there's not much going on. Like actually everything is very stagnant, and you have to, there's a lot of uncertainty, and you have to navigate through that uncertainty because it's that state. The family feud will end at the end of 2023. Well, remember SUHO suggesting once Chat EXO could start their own label. Maybe they should. Yeah, maybe they should. Yeah, it's just that the Seven of Cups, you have to see the cards next to it. The Seven of Cups is not something that you are going to, like, you know, even maybe if you work with the tarot, and this is a very good practice, if you have a deck and you want to use it for yourself and work your intuition, you can pull one card a day, and then study its symbolism and what it means and what is available for you in that you can do. But if you have other cards, rely on the other cards' meanings as well. Do not take the Seven of Cups alone, because maybe around it you can have a kind of resolution, or what is the best way for you to go. I pull other cards with it, like 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands, it's an idol card also. It seems like there were promises a lot of things, but the effort to get it. Yes, the 10 of Cups. They are fooled with responsibilities. These guys, they do not know rest. They do not know rest. And also, there's a lot of guilt tripping. There's a lot of guilt tripping. And in these moments, there must be like some kind of a speech in the background about loyalty. About what side are you on? That's why when I read for them, I was like, they better do not choose. The artist doesn't have to choose a side. They have to remain silent. Even if you have a cool team member that is like, hey, how you doing? What do you think about what is going on? This is not a great moment for the Mooning Gemini idols to open their mouths and be like, I think that this that is happening is unfair because the wheel is turning. The wheel is turning. So you cannot take a side because whatever it lands on, you have to go in there because it's your job, it's your profession that is on the line, it's your financial stability. You do not have to be loyal to anyone but yourself. This is what I would advise to the idols. This is a moment where loyalty is only for themselves, only for themselves only. No family, no nothing. There's no family. Look, look what the head of the family has done for the family. So take his example and think about yourself. But this happens at any workplace, guys. I had worked in large corporations, and when they start firing people, and when they start going crazy, and also the CEOs start betraying each other, and there's fear in the air. Oh, am I going to get fired? Or they fire my boss? Am I going to be fired as well? When the cows start to rise, it's like everyone gets very paranoid, very paranoid. So the best thing that you can do, like the cards that I pulled for Utah, that he got the card of control, is for you to maintain the control over yourself. It's like, yes, maybe the building is on fire, but you have to maintain control over yourself. Do not lose the control. Do not lose it. Do not lose it. But it's tough. It's tough because there's a lot of sentiment involved. There's a lot of relationships in there. There's a lot of connections in there. It's not just work. It's their house. It's like a symbol of their house. So to see it being like this, it must be heartbreaking. It must be like, but yeah, we wish them the best. That's it. They will recover, don't worry. It's about money. So they will get the money that they want, they will recover, and they will be happy again. At least the CEOs. They want money. They are fighting and they are crying and whining because, oh, you got the money that is mine. It's all about money, guys. It's not about the artist, it's money. Okay. For J-Hope, he got the death card, a 9 of cups, 9 of wands, 8 of wands, and then from the oracle he got the card of Sun in Gemini, versatility. So yeah, I think that yes, Hobi is going to be alright. Actually, like he's going to be his self. Like definitely yes. With the death card, the change was like premeditated, like a long time ago. Like probably he knew already that he was next. So he's going through this. But actually, he somehow wanted this change. He wanted this change because he got the 9 of cups. So for him, the opportunity to somehow like stop a bit and to change a bit the way he had been doing things, or probably what his routine was, for him it was like a dream come true. Actually, I think that yes, he knows that probably physically, since he has the 9 of wands, physically is going to be very demanding, mentally as well. It's not going to be like a walk in the park. It's a lot of responsibility, but he's a very responsible guy. So to do his activities, to do his responsibility is not a burden for him. He's ready for it. He's ready. He's ready. Um, I think that he feels very satisfied with how this change was introduced in his life, because it's um, he somehow was a bit like um, like anxious about, okay, when is it going to be, when I'm going, when am I going, like he was very anxious about it. So he was like, okay, I'm satisfied because I was able to finish my activities and they were very good for me, like, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And also I think that for him, emotionally, he got the I pulled an extra card and he got the Four of Cups. So for him, probably this year, these last few months, yes, they had been successful, but probably he went through a period where he felt a bit apathic about everything that he was living. So he somehow is a bit relieved that he has to play this new role, so he doesn't have to pretend to be excited for things that maybe he's not feeling that excitement. He's a bit on the apathic mode. He's not that, like, it's not about inspiration, but probably emotionally he wasn't like that, feeling like that fulfilled. There's something about a hobby's energy that, you know he's proud of his work. He's very proud of his work and his achievements. He's a very hardworking guy. So definitely he feels a sort of satisfaction that things are going this way. But at the same time, he was waiting for this change. It's like he needed to do something. He needed a change in his routine because he was very like, okay, let's see what this new lifestyle brings for me, like probably like a new challenge, and also probably to be far away from the exposure, probably to be a bit like away from the people's eye. I don't know what his role is going to be in the military, but he's like, I want to try that so-called like normal like role. Like probably for him it would be a very interesting experience, very different from being always on the spotlight. There's something about how he feeling apathic, probably like you see him smiling every day, and it's like his signature that he seems like a very like happy guy, but on the inside he was feeling a bit like apathic, like I'm not really enjoying this, like I do this because this is my responsibility, and I work really hard and I'm not going to give up. So but probably emotionally he felt a bit of void, like I'm really not satisfied, like I'm not feeling what I'm supposed to be feeling. I was expecting to be a bit more excited, like full, and it's like he had that experience of feeling like a strong emotion, but then probably after the shows are over, after the cameras are off, and everything, he feels like a sort of post concert depression, where he's like, okay, now what, something like this. So probably he was looking for a change, he wanted something to come up to his life that is like, okay, this is different, this is change, this is coming really fast, like, so I will not hesitate, I will just go and do what I have to do. And then yes, from the oracle, the card of sun in Gemini, versatility. So definitely yes, J-Hope is very versatile. He is an Aquarius, so he will adapt to whatever he has to do. He's a very smart guy, and for him this is not going to represent like a traumatic transition or something like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. No, he will do great. He will adapt. He will learn what he has to do, and he will, like, even the things that probably are very hard to to learn how to do, he will manage to do them. He's very smart. He's very smart guy. He's a very smart guy, and he's very humble. So he's a guy that you can um like you can guide him, or like he doesn't mind to learn new things. It's like he's very humble in that sense. Okay, like, I'm here to learn, so please teach me, because I want to be of service. So this is great. This is great for him. It's going to be a great personal experience. It's going to change him for the better, probably to connect with a part of him that he felt a bit like disconnected, bit apathic. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing tense tarot reading. Since it's Pisces season, I'm going to be reading for him. Since he got a new album coming up, so I'm excited for him. Oh wait, I got disconnected, guys, but I'm back. J-Hope's energy is always so intense to me, but I love it. That card seems on point. So does his need for change. Yeah, yeah. It's just that probably he's a bit tired of always having his energy really up. He needs moderation sometimes, because we are complex. We people, we are complex. We are not always the same people, and sometimes idols do have to maintain a sort of like, and sometimes they choose art against it. It's like, I don't want to play this. I don't want to smile today. Yeah, I saw her reading. Yes, I love it. Yes, I love it, Ilal. Mm. Yes, I watched it. Yesterday I watched it. Yeah. I was so excited because I know that the Lion's Den, sometimes she does bring out, some interpretations are like very intense when it comes to what's really going on with the groups. So I was like, oh please, it better not be a scandal, please. Like, I don't want something wrong to happen. And oh, by the way, talking about this, about my favorite groups, I'm going to be pulling cards for the boys since they had this comeback. So maybe some Jobbies can rewatch it later. Because they had everyone go support the boys, New and B, Roar. I love it. I love it. I love them. And they got beautiful cards. Oh my god. It's not favoritism, guys. I'm not choosing the best cards for them, but they got beautiful cards. I'm sorry. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. You know how stressed I was when the magnet was gone. You know how triggered I was by that. But okay, we have him back. The boys, yay! Please, guys, support them. I know that probably not a lot of you know about them, but they're amazing guys. They are great guys. Please, you will not regret it if you follow them. Yeah. Okay. They got Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups, a lot of love. King, yes, Natasha, they're amazing. King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. Oh, well, not everything was so beautiful. Well, you know, it can happen. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of energy. So they got the cards of Mars in Leo, egotism. So definitely the guys are like they're really like there's this is a very emotional moment for them. It's like they really put their best emotion and an emotional investment in this work. I guess for them to be working back together, all of them together, was a very emotional. It got them close as individuals. um, it also allowed them to open up about how they. I think that Eric's absence somehow was a breaking point for them. When you take for granted people, when you are like, oh yeah, well, he's gone, or this person is not going to be able to be with us. But this was very emotional transformative for them. They were able to recognize that this affected them emotionally. It Thank God it didn't affect them like financially, because let's be honest, it's not that the boys are like earning millions, but thank God they were all able to feel for Eric's absence and keep on working and doing tours and presenting and having a comeback and everything. But um, the emotional effect that it had on them, like they really like struggled emotionally when he was gone, and now that he's is back, and actually it's funny because I see that they all are like some kind of mothers to Eric, like because they got the queen of cups. So they are like the mothers, they are like a mother figure for for Eric, even though they are all males, they're all young men, you know, but they all feel very responsible for Eric. So they probably change a few things about their dynamic because of this. Maybe in the past, if they were too harsh on Eric, or if they were always picking on Eric, like, okay, like you shouldn't be like this, and being very like a father figure, very strict. Now they learned that, yeah, that Eric is a different person now. He's not a baby, and that also Eric is like some kind of lucky charm for them, because he's here again. He's here like the King of Pentacles. So here with Eric presence, there's a lot of potential for them to be like much more successful. Like, and this is not to say that the other members don't matter and that it's all about Eric. No, it's just that I think that him coming back and uniting with them, it made the whole unit complete. So they don't feel like remorseful anymore or regretful, you know, because like I told you guys, like, we were talking when I pulled cards for them, like in the middle of last year, before we knew if Eric was going to come back or not. It was like, if you lose a magnet, you know, it's something like it says a lot about you, and I think that for them this was personal. So, they were like, okay, maybe we should review about what happened with Eric, and also take responsibility about what we can do to somehow provide that emotional nourishment that this guy needed and he wasn't having. That's why he broke down, or he was feeling vulnerable, because instead of being nurturing, maybe they were like being a bit harsh on him, like, oh, you shouldn't be like this, like, oh, get over this, like, or like, get back to work. And he was actually feeling very, you know about his circumstances, he wasn't feeling very well. And then they got the ten of pentacles. That is about family, that is about, building a stability. So definitely the boys, them, all of them together, are going to have a very successful year, in all the aspects, not just money. It's also about them as in their identity, and then feeling fulfilled, together, and they are actually feeling very ambitious. They are feeling very ambitious. They are planning on, you know there could potentially be a lot of releases for the boys, and you're going to see them everywhere. So they definitely want to be able to get as much possibilities to promote the group as they can. So you will probably see a lot of like content on about them visiting or emceeing or visiting another like radio or TV shows, or you're going to see them everywhere, like having interviews, because they want to work on their stability, but they also want to be more successful. They want to make more money. They are like, okay, we have each other, we healed, we are better. Now let's get our back. Now let's make money. Yeah, you can tell they are happy with their comeback and really wanted to knock it out the park this time. Watching their comeback stages for Roar, you can definitely see Eric's stage presence, how dynamic he is. Yeah, and then from the Oracle, he got the card. They got the card of Mars in Leo, egotism. So yeah, definitely in their pursuit of wanting to be more known and actually get more gigs and have more money, probably, be more stable, or actually providing much more like earnings for the company as well. They could be like some kind of differences between them, because they are members that are going to be like, oh, you are too ambitious, like you should slow down, like there's like an intense feelings. Yes, Carlos, he was in hiatus. So probably it also has to do with Eric, with because he's always in the reading. So I think that probably it has to do with him wanting to, to show himself more, because he's like, okay, I've been gone for so long that I really need to make up for this, for my absence, for they cover for me for so many months, and they did it all by themselves. Like, I feel like I have to retribute this, and I have to show a better side of me, and I have to get more gigs, and I have to get more ambitious, and I have to be more passionate, but somehow also not measuring himself and trying to, to step, and wanting to be on the front line, everywhere, and not knowing how to regulate his energy or his intensity or his excitement. So somehow also like coming out too strong and being considered like egotistic. So in this sense, he and the other members that have his same energy, they should like slow down, so they don't like fight, because I believe that now, and probably if this represents the energy of the group, probably this card of Mars in Leo, egotism, it means that they are tired of having to promote with other groups or having to be included with other groups to get their moment. They want to be more egotistic. They want to be more like, okay, like we should present ourselves like really just the group, and that's it. We don't need to do collaborations. We don't need to, to appeal to, oh, please invite me to your program, or please invite me to your channel, or please mention me. Networking. They had been doing networking for quite a while, and actually like accepting some gigs with other groups. That this is not about the groups or them having an issue with working with other people. It's much more about them also standing their ground and and being a bit prideful and be like, we are successful. Like, we are successful. We are the best. So, we don't need other people. We have each other. We are good enough. We have the experience. So it's about being a bit more egotistic and not being pursuing other people so others can help us. It's not about only relying on networking. It's much more about them standing on their own identity as a group and being like, you know, we are pretty cool. We made it through here. Like, we are amazing. Like, actually, there's other people that should be like dying to have us, and not us, like, following others to associate somehow, you know so yeah, it's them actually being a bit more egotistic, a bit more selfish, and not so much like being like, oh, I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to work with you. No, the others should be grateful of you wanting to collaborate with them. It's like we are tired of being or having to rely on others. Mm, yeah, yeah, totally. It's just that probably it's a strategy of the company. Them wanting to associate them with other groups and having these collaborations, and they are a bit tired about it. They're like, we can present ourselves and we will be fine. Like, our fans will be there. Maybe they're not like, there are a few Dobbies, but they're just like when I read for the boys. I'm always praying that there's more Dobbies that watch my channel, because I know that no one reads for the boys. I mean, I know that there are people that read for the boys, but probably they read for them, you know, as a group and not individually. And I want to read for the group individually as well. So a lot of people that don't know much about the boys can actually see them and be like, oh, look at that guy. That guy is funny, or that guy is attractive, or oh, this guy is amazing. So we have to support. Like, from my the heart, from my perspective, I want to promote them, and I'm no one. But I'm saying, like, if no one reads for I don't know, the Magne, or if no one does a Sangyeon reading, I want to read for Sangyeon. I want to read for Q. I want to read for Haknyeon. And I know that probably it doesn't get a lot of views, but he is part of the boys, and I love the boys, so I'm going to promote them. So maybe, yes, my reading will end up somewhere in the internet, but it's like somehow adding to his name and his in the content that the fans do for him, to promote him, because they're great guys. But it's tough, the business is tough. It's very competitive, and sometimes it's not even up to them. The same thing happens with ATs. I love ATs. Everyone loves and admires ATs. But do they get the recognition that they deserve? Sometimes things become very hard for them. And maybe you are like, oh, but how come if they are very talented? Yeah, but somehow things happen. And ATs always is in the back. So yeah. And not only ATs, I mean, other groups, but yeah, I hope they do get more and more. Yes, their last comeback seems like a huge success so far. I'm actually surprised by the numbers of views for the MV. Oh, they opened a pop-up in London? Oh, that's great. Yeah, here we have like Argentinian 80s fans, Argentinian 80s. They are crazy but hilarious. Like, we with our Argentinian dream of someday being able to see them live. I don't know if that's going to happen, but oh well, we can dream. We can dream. Not with our economy, but we can dream. We can dream, guys. Oh, really? ATEEZ are gonna have a concert in my country very soon. Oh, but I won't be able to see them. I think they are very live, so an ATEEZ concert must be great. Yeah, I see some videos and the line is crazy. So is there someone that in the K-pop world that came out, like any news or something like that, that I can pull cards for? Not the same related, please. I'm going to read for that. But is there like something? I'm trying to think about it. My bias is Juno, but I had been bias wrecked by Sun, like everyone, like everyone. Like Sun is a monster. He should be in the like in the dictionary for bias record, because that guy is like, you cannot, once you see him. Yeah, I did pull cards for Hobby, but initially Juno was my bias, but then you see Sun, and yeah, Jungkook as well. Yeah, Jungkook is amazing. Oh, Twice. Let's read for Twice. I was seeing the Japanese line. The Japanese line, they're also releasing. They're releasing something, right? They are fighting the old man. They are fighting someone, old man. I cannot say it's JYP, but probably it's a someone. It's a man. Misamo. Misamo. Okay, Twice. Twice got Eight of Cups, King of Wands, Five of Wands, and the Sun card. And then from the Oracle, they got the card of Moon in Libra Companionship. So yes, the girls will be great actually. It's just that they are, they're walking away finally from having a very harsh like battle with a higher up, with someone. So actually, like, you know, um, like they really had a stand their ground about their vision and what they want to accomplish, but it was a very heavy battle, a very heavy battle. It was very heavy energetically. They were like very exhausted, but they just were very persistent, and they were like like, we are not backing down. We are defending what is ours. Like, we are fighting you. And at the end, they have the sun. So definitely this year they're going to shine. Just like the queens they're going to shine. They're going to shine because they are finally moving on from some very toxic situations when it comes to emotional manipulation. There's someone here that probably, like, I wouldn't say it's JYP, but it probably could be other people from the company, like trying to guilt trip them. There's a lot of like emotional manipulation. It's about like, oh, you belong with us, and like you have to follow certain guidelines and certain traditions, and it's like now with the cards of the moon in Libra as well, with companionship, they are only relying on each other. They are only relying on each other, and they are on the same page. I mean, they always been on the same page, but I believe that now it's a bit more like the energy is much more strong about them, like all going for their dreams and their own goals and aspirations, and they're going together for this. So probably being a bit more participant in the concepts or what they want to accomplish as a group, no longer being like settling for less or being patient. No, they are also going to integrate a bit more of the masculine energy in them, not being so much like the girls they used to be, because they started very young. They are more like now embracing the more masculine, more active side of themselves, and more like a boss, more like, okay, we are defending our units, we are defending our work, we are defending what our images. So whoever wants to like bring us down, we are going to fight them. And actually they are working very well together. They have a great dynamic. They have a great like companionship. That is, these girls definitely are companions. And of course I think that probably in the past there were differences between the members. There was a disconnection between, because all of them are very different and they have different lifestyles, and they have different like experiences, individual experiences and circumstances. So we cannot expect them all, because they are not like all in one. They have different like aspirations and lifestyle. But for this year, the union, the companionship, the real teamwork is here. So definitely they will be, and they will enjoy. You will see that this is actually something that Twice represents very well. That is the joy of being doing what they're doing, and seeing the joy in their eyes, seeing them having fun if they have concerts or if they have appearances, seeing them having fun together and with the audience, like seeing them like really not only shining because they're beautiful, but also shining because they are like stars, and this is what they want to do. And yes, it's tiring, yes, it's exhausted, but this year there's no exhaustion. This year there's no burnout. This year it's a lot of like ownership of like, okay, we are here, we're going to do things our way. And like no more manipulation, no more talking about the past. No, let's move stronger, and let's keep working together. So it's great. They are family. Exactly. Well, SM is going to sue them for defamation, so we live to see that day. Yes, me, I don't know if I believe it or not. Oh, about SUHO and the sneaker situation. We're going to put some cards to see how SUHO feels about it. SUHO and the sneaker situation. Ah, they're definitely going to win this. If they file for a lawsuit, they're going to win it. I hope they do. I hope they do. Yeah, I hope they do file. And it's funny because they got the card of, he got the card actually, the sun in Cancer, resourcefulness. So it's like, are you kidding me? I have the resources to buy my own sneakers. Why would I steal them? Like, it's hilarious what you're saying. Like, it's nonsense. And also, this is also very funny because it means that finally SM is pulling the resources to defend him. They do a lot of things the wrong way, but in this case, they are pulling out the resources to do something good. So yeah. No, yeah, he got the Sun card, King of Wands, Six of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. So yeah, definitely Suho is unbothered. He's like, are you talking about me? He's like in his magnificent sense, in his magnificent self. Like, are you talking about me? Like, in this King of Wands, you know? And yes, feeling a bit like actually like, you know, offended a bit, like very like really hurting his pride. Like, are they really talking about me in this lame article? Like, but yes, he will definitely, if they actually like if they go for these individuals, he's going to win it. He's going to win it. He's going to come out as a winner. His image is going to be safe. See, he has the Ten of Cups. So there's this feeling of emotional fulfillment, actually, that he's a bit untouchable in that sense, that he has a good community around him, that he has like a group of people that is like, with him you will not mess, something like that, something like this. And actually probably people that work with him in SM, you know, they are coming out to defend him, because it's not so much about the defamation, it's more about, you know, that actually this guy, probably his work ethic or the way he networks with others is very good, it's very positive, his image is very positive. So if you mess with him, you know, somehow you are messing with someone that they care about so much. So it's like, you know, it's no, they're not going to win it. They're not going. It's hilarious, but yeah, he's a bit like, really, like, are you serious? Like, this really happened? Like, oh my. But yeah, the things we read on the internet. Okay, guys, this was it for me. We talked, we had fun. Actually, it was me doing all the talking, but it was fun. So yeah, I'm going to be going because I have to cook and I have to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. So yes, and you too, you should too. Today I'm going to start the series. There's a series that Hope, and we were talking about it with Hope and Samara. It's a Japanese one, so we're going to see about this. I believe they put the name on it of it in the chat, in the Discord chat. So I'm going to be checking that out. So yes, guys, this is all for today. So yes, I hope that you enjoy your Sunday. So thank you so much for being here with me, listening to me ranting all day. But yes, thank you so much, and have a great start of the week tomorrow. Bye.